one last look.
All flickers.
All flickers going for athleticism for the pure athletes that we talked about earlier. Team Falcons and Aurora. It's the final game of the regular season here. It's come down to this in this best of 3. Again, Aurora wants to win this out to get to the top 2 seed, and Team Falcons will they be the team to stop them from reaching that dream? We'll find out here as we jump into the Land of Dawn. It's game 3 ahead of us.
Yep. Definitely Team Falcons would not want to encounter the exact same scenario that happened earlier in game number 2. So they will balance it out, and they'll be more wary of how Kyle Teasy is doing with the farming that's happening across the map. We're expecting to see a little bit more of Flap Teasy involved in the early game rotations as well, considering that he is currently on the Hilda. But let's see how they make it work with this bottom rotation.
God, Ogwin down to a third of his health just like that.
Yeah, this is going to be the play here, I think, this time around for Team Falcons too. They want to go ahead and allow Kyle Teasy to have a better start. So they're going to go ahead and try to keep him. Oh, no.
Oh, the ejector on Ogwin. He spends the flicker, but still gets taken down. No logical clapback from Falcons.
He was there alone in front of 3 members of Aurora who again rotated together so early into this game. So we're slowly getting to how they were able to successfully start things off. But fortunately, Kyle Teasy is still able to proceed with the usual farm. So if they do get to actually contest this first objective well enough, just position them, they just really have to position themselves well so that the cables and so that the initiations aren't going to necessarily work for Aurora.
Wow, okay, they're going to toss him up.
Flap Teasy flickers out of there. Trapped beneath the pixel brush. Kyle Teasy wailing away. Holding on to the Unleash the Beast. Won't be needing it. Takes that turtle.
Yep.
Taking that turtle, you know, again, Team Falcons was there right on time. They held their ground. And surprised, because I almost thought, you know, Flap would go down to that, but they get the objective.
Yep, I liked how he was eager to really deal damage towards Renegade first, and how he was just able to put himself out there and zone majority of the members of Aurora. Him being involved in that first objective really did a lot to, or allowed for Team Falcons to just freely be able to take that objective confidently. So they have to just keep replicating this, while as for Aurora, they need to be a little more aggressive too in terms of playing around with the capabilities of their lineup early game.
Yeah, I like this. Slow and steady, basically, for this game number 3. Pretty minuscule leads going for both teams, depending on how they're able to play it around. So it's all going to come down to, I feel like, these objective fights early on. And Team Falcons, with the way that they played the last one, they'll probably just go ahead and continue to kind of control that. And it'll be up to Demon Kite to see if he wants to join some of those fights. Whoa. Demon Kite.
Whoa. Down bottom. Almost taking out Super Marco with that Zaman Force. But Dominic is aware there's 4 members of Falcons waiting here. In comes Renegade. Goes for the ejector. Caught between 3. Flickers out. Astroleko stolen away. The hitbox allows for Ogwin to steal him and yeet him himself. Gets that Tsunami Slam. A kill for Falcons.
They were able to really maximize that bush in the bottom lane. Super Marco really taking his time, playing aggressively up against Dominic, knowing fully well that he will be assisted by the rest of the members of Team Falcons, and them all not showing up all at the same time too, allowing them to anticipate Renegade and his arrival. So now they have somehow evened out the advantage that Aurora had earlier, but there's the Unstoppable Force!
It's their turn to hit the Astral Echoes. US spots 3. Ogwin very low, gets taken out by Edward. Unleash the Beast! Oh, the Shockwave Blast misses Demon Kite. He gets on out of there. 4 members of Aurora still holding on. Going for that Turtle Dance. Count easy very low. Holding on for that Retribution. He secures it. Zaman Force. Behind Demon Kite. Super Marco takes out Demon Kite. Down goes Flap. Trades left and right. But the Falcons are happy with the objective they've gotten.
What a trade. You know, an objective in the hands of Team Falcons, but still Aurora showing some team fight capability. I'm surprised Oh, Ogwen going to jump in, forcing Edward back just to get off the turret here. So now, again, 2 objectives in the hands of Team Falcons. Great for them. Demon Kite almost got caught, then he went back to see if he could get it, and then gets caught and taken out. So, again, Aurora will have to make some adjustments.
Yep, I mean, it was a great start. Demon Kite, interestingly enough, was really after Ogwen first, before anyone else. And you would assume that the Kalea would have been one of the possible counters to the Fanny, one of the sources of crowd control for Team Falcons, but they were able to catch him in a position where he wasn't ready to answer back. And so for some reason, though, Team Falcons, even without Ogwen, complete with the other resources that they had, Kyle TZ2 on his ultimate, they were still confident enough to pursue taking that objective, knowing fully well that Demon Kite still needed to take some time in order to reset and return back. But hold on.
Astral Echoes plus the ejector forcing her spawn. Kyle TZ knew what was up. Chomps down on a Renegade. Edward up next. He has it with a vengeance, but not going to be enough as both go down. Falcons punishing Aurora for going in a little too deep.
This is like you said, Leo, it's like the 4 out of 5. It's the 4 out of 5 games for the Lucas this time.
Yep, I was about to say, when you play with a Lucas and you have your Unleash the Beast online, it's like having 2 ults. It's basically having the clear, the purify, the cleanse, and then you enhance your first skill, you enhance your second skill, and then you have the shockwave blast. So there's a reason why it takes a lot of time to build up that energy.
It was a perfect usage and timing of that cleanse from Kyle TZ, but there's another Astral Echo!
And the Tsunami Slam in! Demon Kite takes the final turtle, but Renegade falls. Kyle TZ gets taken down here. The concealed retreat by Falcons. They regret that fight.
Yeah, so he didn't, again, he didn't have the energy, and you were just saying that. That's a big thing to build up, and it takes time, so they took that chance. They didn't get it, and Demon Kite swooped in and got the turtle, so that's good. At least they get the last turtle for them. That's also going to be a turret now on the bottom side that Demon Kite pushes in, and so that will give Aurora some breathing room at this point in the game, almost leading into that first load, about a minute and some time away.
Yep. Both sides were just able to take away a turret from the opposing team so far. But given that Falcons, they have Flap TZ, he's just all over the map. They're able to manage things somehow, but now they have their attention on him.
Unstoppable force on the Renegades. Catch, and down goes Flap. They threw everything at him. Oh my god. That's literally everything.
It's just, yep, Flap, you're gone.
I was just saying he was managing things.
Glorious post out of that one.
Oh my goodness, he was just trying to manage the macro here for Team Falcons, but now Aurora are just so quick to decide on what to do next. But it's Falcons who are able to convert to that bottom lane turret, so at least they get to trade that death of Flap TZ immediately, even before a objective actually spawns in this game. But so far, if it's just really pressure that we're talking about and mobility, I'd say it's a bigger threat to have a Fanny around able to do that so far, especially considering that Team Falcons, they most likely would want to group up together too in order to fully achieve what their lineup's capabilities are.
Yeah, this is where we get to the point in the game where the gold laners are going to be very crucial here for both teams, because Super Marco and Domikite have done a considerable job at farming up. They're nearly neck and neck when it comes to the gold, and they're pretty much online. So part of that also is, of course, taking care of your gold laners, giving them the space that they need to maneuver around these team fights. Both the tier 1 turrets are up in mid lane, so they still have that even balance space to work with for this Lord. But it's going to be Aurora that starts things up, gets the information. But this is always the case, right? Whenever you have a Fanny, the Fanny's not going to be there right away. Like, you'll just show up. And Demon Kite can also continue to put pressure across the map if he wants to, just like we saw previously today. So both teams will take their time with this first Lord.
Yep, but Aurora already seems to be planning something with the position that Renegade and Domikite are currently in. But you can say the same for Ogwen and Super Marco. They're also on the opposite side of the map.
Interesting way. Renegade, though.
He's stalking his prey.
Oh my.
I'm sure he hasn't been seen here, so
He hasn't.
All right, the patience that Renegade is putting out on display. Demon Kite clearing the waves. Marco captures a face full of Star Shatter. Flap Easy jumping on the Demon Kite. Edward disincentivizing more of an engagement.
Renegade's still here.
No one's with him though.
Yep, he's just gonna recall out of here. Okay. Oh no, he's not.
Still there.
He
He's still there.
The dance has evolved straight into a fight, and there is an ejector. He finds him. Down goes Ogwin. The Lord goes to Kyle. Easy. Zaman force here by Dom and Kite. Down goes Kyle. Edward gets 2, and that's 3 down, 4 down for 2. Aurora punish Falcons for that bold take.
They get a punish. Somehow, Dome and Kite survive that.
Yeah.
And yeah, they got the Lord, but man, did it cost them.
Yep. You already had to use the flicker even before Dom and Kite got to get that low, so there wasn't any way for him to chase!
Easy! Gets taken out by Edward. One-on-one kill in the purest sense.
Oh my goodness, if you're looking at the instant replay, the ejector didn't necessarily bring Kyle Teasy on the other side of the Lord Pit, but nonetheless, the other members of Aurora were able to catch up, and Kyle Teasy, though, even despite all that, it's surprising to see how he was able to land the retribution on that objective. I mean, he was tossed a few moments before it went down to retribution hell, but hold on!
Tsunami Slam underneath tier 1. Ogden barely alive. The beast has been thrown out. Kyle Teasy answers back in kind. Down goes Ogden. Trade it up for Renegade. Roamer for a roamer. In comes Dominic Guy looking to finish off Kyle Teasy. Kyle Teasy barely alive, gets away with it. But Falcons will lose tier 1 in mid.
Oh, phew. Oh, they hold them together, but Dome and Kite is there. And this is just looking, it seems messy from Team Falcons. But you gotta give it up to Renegade. Renegade's done such a good job at causing that chaos, where it's also causing Team Falcons to respond to it. And still, you know, it just seems like Team Falcons lack some of the firepower, which is interesting because Super Marco is, you know, at least mostly locked in on the carry, but it just seems like he's not able to get to those fights in time before all is expended.
Yeah, for some reason, the Kite brothers are always able to escape and get away, even when they're just 1 HP or 2 hits away from dying. So Team Falcons might really want to still hold on to the damage that will probably come on later.
Easy! Did see Renegade in the brush. Goes ahead and hits that Unleash the Beast as if he was doing it about, what, 5 minutes ago, where he tried to trap Aurora, but not this time.
Aurora's playing so aggressively right now. Renegade is able to set himself or put himself in the most dangerous places and still be okay and still be a threat to Team Falcons. So Ogun probably needs to find a way to manage wherever he's coming from a bit more in order for him to actually bring in that threat the same way Renegade does, but it's just Yue constantly being able to scout where he is.
And that's the main difference between Ogwen and Renegade. Renegade is an absolute threat. He hits someone with an unstoppable force ejector combo, someone dies. We've seen Falcons do this multiple times. Ogwen try to do a Tsunami Slam. It sometimes leads to nothing. Kyle Easy, very low, does not get to use his ult just yet. They're holding on to it. Left Easy brings it away. Renegade comes in. Finally, Kyle Easy unleashes the beast, throws out an Astral Echo, throws out a Tsunami Slam, and in comes Left Easy, gets punished for it. Omen Guide Zaman 4 still alive. Shields up. Falcons don't want this fight.
But Kyle's he just recalled there, like even with that. So I guess that was the call because they need to reset for this Lord now, but I don't know if they can even contest this.
Astral Echoes spotting the rest of Falcons on the lower half of the map. Falcons just have to let Aurora have this. Another big objective over to Aurora.
I'm shivering.
You're shivering, you're shaking.
Aurora has definitely found their way into dealing with the lineup that Team Falcon has. Not even that supposed counter setup coming in from Ogwen successfully led into a trade. You just mentioned it, Leo. Not even that Tsunami Slam that was committed allowed Super Marco to take him down, not even with this Trinity build already in his hands, also having the Wind of Nature. they're just not able to burst them down. On top of that, even one moment where Kite nearly looked like he was about to get punished, but he still got the shields and survived.
Again, yeah, it's impressive, man. You know, I think when you look at this, everybody on Aurora right now is doing their part.
I have a theory.
Yes, the theory.
Coyotes is not dealing enough damage. He has 3 items dedicated to defense.
So he's a tank.
He's a hybrid Lucas. You need more damage if you're looking to end the game and win. Falcons are now facing an end game angle. This is a siege that Aurora definitely want to finish the game with, but they deal with the Lord handily. I think they're going to keep all their inhibitors here.
The curtain call was already committed by Edward too. So it's only the potential flicker that's about to cool down from Renegade that could set things up, but Owen goes first!
Tsunami slam underneath tier 3 in mid. Renegade gets an immortality pop. Kyle Deasy pops a winner crown as the beast takes out Renegade. Sacrifices himself alongside Ogwin. And the fight continues. Super Marco very low. He's burning. Few goes down. 3 for 1. The hitman for Kyle, Few, and Ogwin.
Same, Brigida, same. Those are also my reactions.
All for just the hitman! And now it's Flapdaisy and Super Marco left to defend for members of Aurora!
That's 4 members in. Aurora can smell blood in the water. Super Marco trying his darkness. It's not going to be enough. Falcons get wiped out. Aurora take the series.
A win they needed, and Aurora got it. They are shining bright in this